Gone. Second Ezra chapter 13 verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight.
Mori want put in the my spirit feti for lang to. Mana sa de mabe frede. Mas tang no. Ano normally bisma. Ifo lang to. Kung nga spaceship siya. Aha. Cool. Mabe frede. Mato. Ifo lang to mana sa mori want. The Lord is a man of war.
That's right.
Ifo lang to. Sa mori want bung all of bung feti. Full of damage acid and yet there's fight. Manasa, the man won't give up. So kung jang sina, never give up. You can see.
Gone. Verse 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only gone.
This how siya ino to next na wala mga kamil ko.
Saan ang mga do?
Aminak to sa wang kong over ko mama. This is sasama do.
God. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Gone. Second Ezra 13 and 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. Verse 10. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
If I like to this, ama no kobreg no sword. Next sama do na ko na makobreg ka spaceship wang kustutwali serbim komite ma ko fanitah tema. Wala ka. Right. Is that amando? Is yaw siya na guru. Ade giyare. Go ahead.
Gone. Verse 11, 2 Ezra 13 and 11. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one.
Folak to des ali serbim prong di alamala. Folak to. Ala akhir army akhir legrep de ma. Great ko na nga pastor Sumar. Folak to. So ali serbim wa destroy them. Right?
Gone. So that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid.
Folak to des. Fast valley sa mi ang panitang tema. Nasa so saksi ng asmo ko.
Saksi.
Smelter ko kwe. Asia.
Sa Ezra staki I'm afraid.
Folak to. Brana nga sa. There's no official sa Ezra kisi. Folak to. Neta kabratin dya inattend this generation. Folak to. Sa so cover natin uno ya balak na. Tama ba? Stop na.
Trapis ito. Visible.
Trapis ito tatlo to. Ano yung
Trapis na after that, visible na.
Kasi sabi tatak ya. No, pakadisrupt sa wala ko sa dito.
Orat na.
Ay.
Revelation chapter 9 verse Revelation chapter 9 verse 20. And it says, and the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk. Neither repented they of their murderers, neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts.
Ipolak to baka vernietiging, toch die apwalos masay di wickedness. Kaambigi de stone gado, udugado, ipolak to. Baka jakong likles bis homo, ipolak to des maratulay. Ipolak to. Pak de mano bakirere, bakalasan sa de mashi. Kawalos madede bong po. Bakit tayo do wickedness?
Mga fool. Faggots,
Daramig na unuod dito. The hunters, ipolak to. Destroy them all.
Yeah, mga kapikandila. Wala akong mali sa scripture. So, wala nga may mali sa scripture. Sesta. Khan. So this is Jeremiah chapter 16 verse 16. And it says, behold, I will send for many fishers, said Yahweh, and they shall fish them.
Falak to, dat nasa sa uno eduno de. De upu, de eleke falak to. Si mau repent, dia de prophecy, de warning, si falak to. Saya mustu, saya no mustu. Si uno de fisi. Falak to, si uno na de fishers ya basho niya siya tapakulon tapuno de. Falak. Go ahead.
Gone. Jeremiah chapter 16 verse 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, said Yahweh, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks.
Falak to des. Makadar yung bafisi mo. Falak. Amori yung may kunutap hunters no, esa mga hunter. Falak to mayakar. Mayakar kiris may falak to. Onti, pikir meti. Tahu tak? Kalau tahu des na preciso wade, ina pisten dat baka apa ni terkem, de masa itang de ma wickedness. Kalau tak, destroy ala de man tu, kalau tak, no de hunters, warriors. Kalau alik affection sampai kisito. Tu bede ko, kalau tak. Dengan sword, bigi skin, bigi baro, afro, follow to.
Alam mo ba din, no?
Nato.
I hear the horn.
Kung may siya may
bede, ano bede mo?
Nato ang field. Yung mga octopus na like the flesh will lumbo kinis, mga nagkanima.
King Diva to. Teach my hands to war. Check it. God. Verse 17. Jeremiah 16 and 17. For mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face. Neither is there iniquity hid from mine eyes. So bungki ogo lung koki brite o shima elek mo koki. Long there is no escape. No ma-escape at judgment.
Pag isalita ko
Ito.
Kamasarili.
This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 9 verse 4. And it says, Ezekiel 9 and 4. And the Lord Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
Sa markija mark ibalak pa. Tawa, which means same from judgment ibalak pa. Ide baskara ibalak pa talo rino wala pa nito. Ibalak. Sinadag na sa uno ito spiritual ipunta marki hindi ma first time ibalak to. Spiritual na wisdom knowledge ang understanding is ibalak.
Kan. Ezekiel chapter 9 verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
Maar brother, we doen een lesson voor scripture ja toch? Soort scripture in wat dit. Vers 4, Ezekiel chapter 9 of vers 5, Ezekiel chapter 9. Destruction of cities.
Yeah. Verse 5. And to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women, both come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house.
Dus nou, precies zo de hunters zo de YAHAWASHI nou zijn. Ik wil nog een keer alles maar we zien ja baby. Negre, opa, oma.
Are children eligible to receive judgment? Yes, they are eligible.
This is St. Matthew chapter 13. I'm going to start at verse 36. And it says, then YAHAWASHI sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. Verse 37. He answered and said unto them, he that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. Verse 38.
Kasi prana musi na YAHAWASHI the Son of Man. Follow? And kung puno ko prana musi follow. Matando na wisdom ng knowledge this in your mind in your stuff. Follow bro. Puno na YAHAWASHI niya siya. Also you are the Son of Man.
Gone. Verse 37. He answered and said unto them, he that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. Verse 38. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom.
The children of the kingdom are the Israelites. So-called Negro, Latinos, and the Hispanics. They are the children of the kingdom. Thus the kingdom is for them only, man.
This is Acts 1 and 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel?
Follow the one that's Baba kingdom ba? Follow? Follow the distract with kingdom. Papi di want change so if follow the one that's about the Edomites they so on the wick man on the foot. Follow to be dominate follow.
Back in St. Matthew chapter 13, verse 38. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one.
So-called white man.
Verse 39. The enemy that soweth them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels.
Follow the reapers are the angels, man. Follow. Sorry for it. Follow.
Verse 40. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and them which do iniquity.
Kaya follow to? Sambung and sanobung. You follow?
Verse 41. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth.
Follow to cabra. The nuclear rocket, the missiles, man. Follow to. It's the Christianity assigned in hell. Follow to. Usang batak hell, contact the grave, and now I'll open things. It's a naked boom. That lang yan.
Verse 43. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear.
The righteous or the Israelites, you follow now. You follow now, see this, you follow now, the 144 and the 130, you follow now. Understand? You there the wicked, you follow now, and the one that know. The word of freedom, you follow now.
Precept Daniel chapter 12 verse 3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever.
Now understand? I'm agree with so turn on this man to righteousness.
Masuma turn the uang kung baka na righteousness na kung it teach the people repentance, make them turn baka na righteousness. Refardache sa fato. The Israelites, we teach them, make them live by YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI want them to live according to the scriptures. Gone. This is Revelation chapter 14, verse 14. And it says, and I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. Verse 15. Revelation 14 and 15. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe.
Wickedness na pagronta po dyan. Yung po lang po.
Okay, ayuro doro. Ako lipi poster.
Yung po lang po. Yaman.
Andro da kiri de wasa wicked sa look wickedness. Ko see deliver. Gone. Verse 17. And another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the altar which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, thrust in thy sickle and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe.
Kaya po lang there's the angels trip nila nga this one po lang to and yung mas trip po reap understand the harvest is ripe man.
Para they look at the grapes na the people. Sabi ko.
Kana grapes na draw
Yeah.
the tea.
Verse 19. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of Yahweh. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horse bridles by the space of 1,600 furlongs.
Well, to this sorry but ano na talaga puro control kasi bro din mo po draw. Kita ka brother libis mata pagron ta po siya. Wickedness na din.
Verse
still available line ng allegory sa sabi to. Builds prato. Ano alam sa available yung article letter. Full build penises. Penises ano, bakin penises yun at least letter lang ay yung mga first time letter lang. Sabi to. That makes sa description that either is spiritual sa photo. The most high makes bakin yung mga sa spiritual. Sa
Parang fitness football faster. Ano mga first neto? Lasang, may alasan letter lang.
Alasan ba natilo ko na may tag-letter lang?
Yeah,
Mist of the scriptures.
Yeah, mang.
Mist of scriptures na letter lang ka na
Wanda, mang. Eh, sa dork says di na babe. Ayar Bible may nasa naso dork say yato. Kasi, ina naso dork saying na watusan de sa de letter lang. Sa fato de stories sa cover. Sa fato. Kumara ko pula kis salam. The prophets mi mang. Revelation. YAHAWASHI takbija. Matthew. Naso kalay ka na sa mi mang. Kasi namang tik alasan letter lang yun. As piyestag na as amoro hiwa abig tilangayo. As spirit pamoro hiwa abig tinayo tapos yung ka first time mang. Abay pa spirit pamoro hiwa no dayo tapos yung mga first time abay ba. Abay ba lang nakuha buku sa yeteki. Kaya bigay lisi na kayot pa kremo. No. Moro hiwa musgiya case. Kaya may kare a Holy Spirit a hila ka case. Sa pato sa na away side ng knowledge pa baby. Sa pato na dat na Holy Spirit. Follow ko. Tapos na, eh pina-update eh. Ito, mabri ka Bible no? Nasa ko pa Bible bigi? Ko pa Bible de kinangaw may buku. Ha? Plus na, ala de buku link na nga de srepi. Ito follow to. Ala de buku abde aka. Aka pa abde buku o de nga si Jaso. Matim-tim sukatra aka na nga sa amling. Aka no, de kande andro save. Aka de kande tedat si wa voorbeeld Genesis. Daya bib ko te kwa scripture ta upang baring. Ang scripture po upang baring. Ya bib ko te kita Yesaya. E follow to. Tapos alap boy eh. Aron make talk. This na one forum for spiritual krakja.
Yama.
A spiritual power de jami ma.
Sabi.
Ya pa pono a spiritual power fu ka pri ka people to.
That's right.
Ano a normal Sunday ja sa wetu ja. Aron make up juice of the brother bitaki eh. Sama bitu bitaki. No she's reflect on ordinary ma. So lang ayo ko about wisdom. Yan o ordinary hinong charus reflect on ordinary ma. She's reflect on lolo. Okat sa amoro hiwang hori kibri. Dikisi pagoro sa puna tataki.
So is payu ba lang rin yan?
So si pa ba lang rin. Sabi to.
At so waka na nga mga ekdap ba lang rin san
Yeah ma, a kingdom talk. Yato na punay krecha. A wisdom ng knowledge disi. Elay do to kingdom.
This is the ticket to the kingdom of heaven.
Yato na dis na atikat kumita kuning grades. Ano money? Nga warto grow up sa. Ino ada sana talit, ada sana tutang. Sapa to? This ocharigo. And ang scripture dito. Ang scripture meaning na wisdom of Solomon. Paita ka para wisdom and she leaded onto a kingdom.
So ang scripture.
So as kung ang scripture dito.
Make it them prophets misab sa pawandan.
Yeah, so ang scripture dati. Sapa to? There's a woman this in man. A wisdom this is perkalika ang metafro. Nalik mo fro a wisdom jadi. Tidak nga fro ja. A this LA daw you gonna walk kingdom and not that way wakti. Sapa to? Kung unay cry po imal na that way wakti, no atrasan unay wakti mo. Sabi to. Tapos may na about wisdom, aron may ka-script yung wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. Ano takno atrasan ni?
That's right.
Ano takno ang grown up sani, ano tak ipi upso. If you see your abang staple money na that o di you stabilitate. No, the money na stabilitate po inagrow tapos sa suffer ja. Mga defense, abif ko bro iking. Madalag as scripture tag abara de muy lagatay da mimang. Money no mayep you. Next no mayep you, no awapan no mayep you, no one no mayep you mimang. A wisdom na nga stability ni salat. A wisdom na nga stability ni siwa o mayep you. Ito pa makataka scripture na di.
Have this.